Patricia, I wanted you to meet the young man who's carrying forward the legacy from your husband, Ed Bradley. And John, I want you to talk a little bit about what this opportunity means for you.
The opportunity, well, first, there's a little bit of pressure there because Ed Bradley, those are really, really big shoes to fill, but I'm confident that I can do it. Not to be as great as Ed Bradley, but hopefully to be greater. When I met him in high school, I had dinner with him. I actually sat down, had dinner with him. I actually approached him, and he was very, very open. And we talked, and he told me some tips. And he told me, he was like, don't strive to be like somebody else. You should strive to be better than somebody else. And he just told me that I need tenacity, that I need to be brave, to do everything that I need to do in this industry. So it's definitely a big honor, and it means a lot to me that you wrote the check for this scholarship, and it definitely does mean a lot to me. I really thank you for it. It's paved the way for a lot of opportunities. Another opportunity just came up at this conference for me too, and I've just been networking, and I definitely owe it all to the Bradley family, so I thank you.
John, when you talk about being brave, what does that mean to you in terms of definition? Is it being brave in terms of pursuing your goals, pursuing your dreams, pursuing stories, all of the above?
I say, when I think about bravery, well, at first bravery meant to me was having the courage to go up to people, industry heads and people in the news business that you don't know, going up to them and telling them who you are and telling them a bit about yourself. And one thing that I'm sure Ed Bradley could attest to was covering the issues that people didn't want to cover, asking the questions that people didn't want to ask, asking the questions that you might not get the best answers from. That's what bravery in the news business means to me. You have to be brave enough to cover the tough stories, ask the tough questions, and do what you need to do to get the real story out there. There are so many stories every day that do not get told, but there are so many stories that do get told. And I just hope that I can be one of those people that tells the stories that don't get untold, or that don't get told, and just to tell the stories that mean a lot to the people in the world, all over the world.
You know, I'm glad to hear you say that, and because I think Ed's special legacy was having the bravery to speak truth. Coming out of this, obviously, you want a job, you want to do work, you want to tell stories.
Yeah.
What do you see yourself doing with your career?
Well, my ultimate goal is to be the host of a show, sort of like 60 Minutes. If it's 60 Minutes, that's great. But just to be the host of a show and cover issues on a more personal level. Short-term goal, I want to be a reporter somewhere, news anchor. If not news anchor for a television station, news anchor for a radio station. I'm a radio reporter right now. And that's pretty much my main goal. Just want to cover stories to a very personal view and reach people the best way I possibly can. Not to do a lot of the things that the news industry does just to generate revenue and things like that. I just want to tell the stories that people need to know. That's my main goal. As long as I can do that, I can say I've done good.
You know, you got an interesting path you're following because Ed was a hell of a radio guy.
Yeah.